And welcome everybody to the Between Two Wheels podcast, the best cycling show on right now. On today's show, the Vuelta has its first big general classification test of the 2024 Vuelta. Who will shine and who will falter? Which team has the support for their main rider? Will the heat be too much to handle? And who is going to be the first big surprise of the race? This is stage 4, the 79th edition of the La Vuelta Ciclista a España, and this is the Between Two Wheels podcast, episode 366, coming at you right now.
And Kuss goes, says, I've had enough of this. For 2, Evan a pole. And there's gaps opening up here. 2.6 kilometers to go. Here is Sepp Kuss. And he has actually pushed on. He's going for glory. This could be a fabulous day for Jumbo-Visma. Stage victory coming his way. Needs to drive it all the way over the line. Is he going to he's going to go high-fiving. This might cost him a red jersey, for goodness sake. Hits the line. Takes 10 seconds bonus.
And welcome everybody. I hope you had a good stage 4. I was so busy this morning. I couldn't watch it live. I had to delay it. But now we're going to do a bit of a roundup with it. And I've got a cat in the room here, so hopefully it won't be too much of a bother. But let's head to it. We had a lot of cool stuff to really talk about. Let's see, there we go. Okay, we'll do that. Let's see if we can do it. There you go. Down cat. Okay, let's get right to it. Stage 4, the Vuelta. We got some clip stuff here. There you go, 366. There is the stage. It's 170.5 kilometers, just over 100 miles long. Let's call it about 110 or so, 105. I don't know. We could find the actual number, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. But there it is. Cat 2, a Cat 1, bonus on the Cat 3, and then a sprint coming about 15 kilometers to the finish as the race heads uphill and then goes off on the last 5 kilometers off this path, up really steep. I mean, we're talking at some points where 20%, average like 13 or so percent, and it was brutal. And then it was hot. Word is 40 degrees Celsius. Not sure what that is, but it's blazing hot in American. So we had those problems as well. And would that be an issue for everybody? Well, we're going to actually see. There's the results for the GC coming into today. 13-second lead for Wout over Brandon McNulty. We do not expect that to be the case. And then the questions are, is Brandon going to be able to hold on? I told you yesterday, the way that this steep stuff goes, I didn't expect him to really be the guy. I didn't think Jalamander would be the guy. I thought, Adam, it depends. Once again, I preface this all the time, and at some point I'll have to stop saying it. It depends on what their motivations were coming into this race and really what they had planned to do with that. So with that in mind, Adam Yates wasn't really, I don't know where he is going to be, but I said Carapaz should do well. Sepp Kuss you expect to do well. I predicted Primoz Roglic would win the stage. There's always other ones in there. And I told you that the start, when Enric Mas puts in a good time trial, you're going to be, something to watch out for. And then there's always people we don't expect, and we will talk about them in a bit here too. This race starts out at the 117 kilometer spot. There's already a break up the road. Bruno Amara, Castrillo, Zana, Maki, and Bizcarra, they're up the road, and they already have a little bit of a break on the way. Meanwhile, back in the pack, the riders are across the road and getting bottles. There was a 3:31 lead at this point. Not much to worry about, and you expected the teams, and you saw Bora on the front doing the work, expecting to pull this break back because they wanted a chance for Primoz Roglic to get the win. Coming over the first sprint, or the KOM, you got 2 guys up the front. I don't even know who they are. And then the next one comes up there. They're going for the KOM. Then you got Bruno Amarai going up the road a bit. He and another guy, they stay away for Kern. They stay away till the top of the climb. Now, 15 kilometers to go. I think this is an important part. Okay, we saw Wout van Aert say the other day that he said hey, I'm doing this. I got the red jersey, but I am here for Sepp Kuss. Okay, granted. However, you're going for the sprint pretty hard at 15.1 kilometers to go. And we'll talk about this because I think this plays a part in the race. And I think it plays a part in a bad way for Jumbo. Not just Sepp, but I mean, not just Wout, his what he did, but I think maybe some other teammates as well. However, he gets on the front. Alpecin, they're leading this thing out. Wout kicks hard, really hard. Caden Groves starts to come around him. They almost lock elbows, and in the end, fellow bike throw. Caden Groves gets it on the line for bonus seconds, which don't matter, but the sprint, the green point jersey in effect. And let me see here. Who's in the lead? Wout ends up with 111 points to 105 for Caden Groves. So that's a tight battle. The third spot is Luis Angel Mate. He has 35. That's where we're at for the green jersey. So, however, right away, Wout is done. He sits up. He's done here. 13.1 kilometers to go because the race is going uphill, so he's done. I think this is bad. But here you come into a left-hand corner, a 5.1 to go. This is when the really steep stuff happens. The break has about 17 seconds lead, and then the big field is coming through. I'm going to be pointing out Sepp Kuss's positioning on this ride, as they come in here. Now, I have a few slides at the very end. I'll show where I show the team and Sepp's position, but you can see here he's back a long way. I mean, here's the front with Bora on the front, and then you've got UAE on the front. Those guys, you got a few Israel Primatech guys coming over here, and way back here at the corner is yellow, and that's Sepp Kuss. Okay, Keon Utebrooks is with him. Now you can see him here once again. 4.9 kilometers to go. Jay Vine and the UAE team are hitting the front. I think Jay Vine actually comes in a little bit later here. But you can see Sepp Kuss way back here, some yellow, and he's got no teammates on him. Now, here you come again. 4.9, the team is starting to take effect as far as UAE is doing pacing. Roglic has his team there for Bora. There's, 3 of them up there. Carapaz is up there. Enric Mas is up there for Movistar. Now, you do see some yellow being dipped out here. And way back here, down around this little dip part, is Sepp Kuss. Now he's making moves to get up to the front, but I mean, I don't know if we want to count this. What is he, 20, 25 back, perhaps, at this time? A few seconds for the pace that they're going, already steep. Jay Vine does come to the front at 4.8, puts a little bit gap into everybody, and kind of just pushes the pace a little bit more, which is probably good. If you got people like Sepp Kuss already off the back, it's probably a good idea for you to start doing this. There's gaps opening up. Carapaz is up here. Once again, you can barely see Sepp Kuss just coming around the corner. There's already a gap. He's having to close gaps. Next one here, they're finally catching the break at 4.7. And Jay Vine coming to the front, catches the break, takes over the front, but not trying to do much more than just actually lead the way. Now, 3.9, there's a group is starting to separate a little bit. Sepp Kuss has finally made his way to that back group. He's there with Carapaz. At this point, Roglic just kind of hits the front, and you've already got problems for UAE. You've already got Adam Yates going out the back and a few others here. But there's Roglic, Enric Mas, I think Sivakov is up there. You've got Van Etvelt for Lotto Destiny. I think João Almeida is up there. Sepp Kuss is up there. And then you had Rodriguez for Ineos as well. Then this is 3.7. This is where the wheels start to come off a little bit for Sepp. He's got another little gap going here. They start to take this left-hand corner. He's fourth wheel. He kind of falls off that. He does pull himself back up, but then he starts to drift again a little bit more. And a kilometer later, he's already off the back with a gap to the main riders. Now, Felix Gall takes a bit of a little flyer here at 2.8. It's still super steep. Primož Roglic is just biding his time. He's rolling things up here. He lets that go. It's so steep that he just follows and closes the gap at some point, but just kind of lets Felix Gall sit there. Enric Mas is on here, and it's just Enric Mas, Primož Roglic, and Van Etveld. And then behind them is the Matthew Riccatello, the American. He's doing well. But you've got now guys off the back, such as João Almeida, Sivakov, Sepp Kuss. There's damage to be done here. Adam Yates is way back at this point. João Almeida at 1.9 starts to actually make his way back. as they've caught the front. Felix Gall, Enric Mas continues on with Roglic and then Van Aert. Those three just never really separate at all going up the mountain. But behind, you've got João Almeida, you've got Matthew Riccatello, and Felix Gall, all trying to make their way back up to the front. Once again, Felix Gall took a lead up there. Remember, he De La Los last year, not this tour, but this one before, he won on that one. Second place was Adam Yates. Adam Yates got a chance to go when Pogacar faltered and Jonas tore everyone apart. 1.4, the groups come back together. Matthew Riccatello, the American for Israel Primatech, Felix Gall, and João Almeida claw their way back up. There was a little bit of a gamesman going on with people just like Primoz Roglic just saying, you take some poles, and then Enric Mas takes a little bit, but he doesn't do much. And then you've got Van Aert as well. Maybe he's new out there. 1.2 kilometers to go. Jack Haig is up the road, but Sivakov is pulling on with Sepp Kuss. They're behind. You don't know how much, but it doesn't look good. A lot of salt on the body there for Sepp Kuss, not looking so good, struggling on a climb that should suit him quite well. 1 kilometer to go as they're coming under the kite. 34-second lead for the front group. You don't know who, it's to Group Kuss. So Kuss at this point is 34 seconds back at 1 kilometer to go, and you've got the guys in the front and looking good. Well, just in the back, you can see one rider trying to make his way up to him. That is at 843 meters to go. That is Landa. But Roglic pushes on here. Van Aert as well. Landa's coming up to the front, and then Matthew Riccatello decides he's going to attack. It's not much of an attack from these guys. Everyone is able to latch back on, but it was a little bit of a time period right when Landa was coming up there, so it wasn't a bad idea. And then Enric Mas decides to counterattack, and when Enric Mas does counterattack, it does get rid of Mikel Landa, but Landa keeps it on and comes around and then makes an attack himself inside the last few hundred meters, but it does pitch up just enough. So Van Aert decides to counter off of that, takes the inside right-hand side. You've got Primoz Roglic on his wheel, 50, 75, and then 50 meters to go. It curves around the corner just a little bit. Van Aert looks like he's got this. He starts to celebrate with an arm raise, immediately realizes with a coast, and really realizes it's not the right thing as Primoz Roglic is coming around his left. Roglic bike throw gets him on the line. Roglic with the stage win. You had Riccatello, João Almeida coming through at the same time with them, and then back only 28 seconds was Sivakov and Sepp Kuss. So they only lose 28 seconds, but there was time bonuses on the day. 129 back was Adam Yates and Carapaz. Carapaz had started that climb with the front group, looked really good, and then drifted back. And you can see this right here. Van Aert starts to lift his arm up, I guess in a celebration before you hit the line. Not such a good thing. Roglic looking over the marksman, comes around. Van Aert posts up again, and then after the line, he throws his arm against the handlebars in anger. Roglic gets the win, same time over Van Aert, and then João Almeida in third, Enric Mas, Felix Gall, Riccatello, and Mikel Landa all at the same time. Amazing ride by Landa making that comeback there. You had Tiberi, I said Jack Haig earlier, but it was Tiberi that was just up the road a little bit from Sepp Kuss, coming in at 18 seconds back for 8th place. George Bennett for Israel Primatech. He was the other rider up there. I didn't even know that was him. In 28 seconds with Sivakov. So he came in through with Sepp Kuss and Sivakov all at 28 seconds back. Roglic takes the red jersey 8 seconds over João Almeida, who looked bad and then claws his way back up. If you don't get rid of him, he'll just keep coming at you. So obviously Almeida looks like he's the rider for UAE coming through on this race. Yeah, João Almeida in 8 seconds back. Enric Mas 32 seconds for third. Tiberi at 38 seconds. Van Aert at 41. Gall 47. Brandon McNulty slips down to 7th place. 50 seconds back. Skilmos, and he didn't have such a great day today as well, losing 58 seconds. Mikel Landa 58 back, and Vlasov at a minute. I said Skilmos lost 58, but he's down 58 on the general classification. He lost about that or much, a little bit more. So there you go. Primoz Roglic. There's the overall. We'll get down to, at least on the stage race today, top 30 here. You can look here. This is time. Let's see. Sepp Kuss loses, what do we say, 28 seconds. The next one back was Vlasov at 38. Fortunato, 38. Kron, David Gaudu, 40 seconds. Skilmos, 43. Jack Haig, 43. Christian Rodriguez for Arkea, 51. Where was the other Rodriguez? For Ineos, there we go. Carlos Rodriguez, 21st place, loses 51 seconds. McNulty loses 57. Ben O'Connor down to 111. Adam Yates at 129. And Lipowitz, those are the teammates. Kia Newton-Brooks loses 138 on the stage. There you go. There's the time bonuses, 10, 4, and 6 for Van Eltvet, and 4 for John Maeda, 10 for Roglic. I did it on up and down for who went up and down on the day there. And there's the time lost. You can see that on the day. Some of the bigger losers, obviously, one's Kia Newton-Brooks, who lost 150. Tejeda, some of these other guys, 140. Lipowitz loses 146, but he's there for a teammate, so not so bad. Brandon McNulty loses 107. Sepp Kuss only loses, he loses 38 because there's a 10-second time bonus here, but not so bad. Now, Sepp Kuss said, and there we go. There's the green jerseys. That's the points. Got 111 to 105. The mountain jerseys by Sylvain Monique, Lotto Destiny, and then Filippo Zana, Primoz Roglic in third place for that one. The young rider jersey, Riccatello, fourth place there. 26 seconds. I could see, especially the way he rode today, I could see him doing, and we saw that in the Tour de Suisse, hung in there with Adam Yates and I think he finished third place overall, and João Almeida. So good for him on the day. Team UAE Emirates is winning the team classification. Okay, so this is the sprint spot. You can see the yellow team up here when they come across the sprint at 14.6 kilometers to go. Up the road has been Wout van Aert. He went up the road trying to get the sprint. He got second place on it. Okay, fine. You can see the team here for Primoz Roglic is drilling on the front. And then you've got some yellow back here. 1, 2, 3, 4 riders for Sepp Kuss. There's another rider in the back and then a few more. They're not all together. And Sepp Kuss said, oh yeah, my positioning wasn't great coming into the climb. It was really nervy coming into the final climb. Okay, well, you've got a problem here because Wout can help you. Now, was it... And all I'm saying is we saw he only lost 28 seconds on the climb, but if you put yourself in position, maybe he's holding on longer because he did a lot of work. If you watch up till like 3.6 to go, Sepp kept moving up, and there's guys, and it's so steep like that. There's going to be, and it's a skinny road. There's guys coming off, and you've got to come around these people debris, right? So it's a problem. And then you can see this coming into the corner there. There's riders. They're already, 20 back. And Sepp Kuss is back here behind Utebrich. So they did not lead him into the position very well. And then here you go. Way back here on this corner as they come around the first thing. And you are way deep into this thing. And that's not good positioning. And yes, some of that's on Sepp Kuss. But why has Sepp always been in position before coming into these races when they needed to be? Because he is doing the work to get Jonas up there. Other people are doing it. Why is this not happening for him? And it happens for these other riders. That's bullshit. And I understand Wout is going for this, but maybe he didn't need to. Wout can climb just fine. Get your guy to this point in a good position. I hope the DSs really, Director Sportives, really work the team over about this, saying you can't allow this to happen. If you're going to be here, he's a defending champion. Okay, it's not like he's some guy that you just hope you're going to put him in here, and I hope he does well. Mike Woods, we're going to ride for him for GC. No, this is a guy that won this race last year, okay, and destroyed everybody but his own teammates, and even them he held off. So you got to give him some respect, and you've got to do some work to put him into the best position possible. If he falters, which he did today, he said, look, 28 seconds. He goes, actually, that was pretty good. The heat was really bad. I had really bad positioning coming into this corner, coming into the climb, and my legs were not, I didn't feel good coming up the climb. So to only lose 28 seconds, not bad. Now, I think he can ride himself into form a little bit better. He hasn't had a lot of race days. I'm obviously a Sepp Kuss sycophant, so, I've got that. Tomorrow's stage 5, 170, almost the exact same mileage here, 170 kilometers, Fuente del Maestre to Sevilla, And there it is. No categorized climbs on the day. You got a bonus sprint here. I'm sure Wout van Aert's going to go for it again because that's what he does. He looks pretty good, but I still think Caden Groves is probably going to get the best of him when you give him a chance. Caden Groves has a little bit better legs on him, and if you can soften him up a little bit, then Wout has a chance. But tomorrow we really don't need to or don't have that. So there you are. So my predictions for tomorrow are, I'm picking on my fantasy team, Wout, but I really think Caden Groves gets a chance here. But I think it's going to be really between those two. You're going to have to see what Bickner for DSM. He's going to get his chance. Brian Coulthard, I still think he should be able to, but he hasn't been looking very close. He's been in the top 10s there. And then we have the rest of the day. You do have coming up here. Tomorrow's not going to be it, but maybe the next day, maybe Thursday, it does end on a Cat 3. I tend to think this is one you just let the break get away. But if the GC guys, any of those ones that are just lost a little bit of time today, they want to try to make up for it, maybe they go for it there. So you got that on stage 6. Stage 7 is going to be a sprint. And look, we don't have anything till the weekend. Stage 8, I believe it is. It does end up on another Cat 3 that looks a little bit more daunting than the one on Thursday. And then Sunday, that was Saturday. And then Sunday, and I know I don't have the thing up here. You got Cat 1, Cat 1, Cat 1. But then the last 20 kilometers is downhill. So they're going to be, I think, look, you sprint for that one, 7.1 kilometers at 9.6. You can still do some damage, and you probably will. You're going to do some damage. I don't know if the lead is really going to, Primoz, I mean, he does ride similar to Tadej, which is kill, time, get it as much as you can, and then we'll worry about holding on at a later date. So with that in mind, that's kind of how they're going to play it, and that's how I think it is. So good stage today, not the best for Sepp Kuss, pretty decent for the American. Exciting to see Riccatello coming up there, doing really good, trying to throw it down with him. It's not the same pace. You got a lot of guys, 6-7 guys coming into the finish together, doing a little bit of a sprint. That's interesting to me, and only putting 30 seconds on Sepp Kuss. Sepp, come back, get a little bit more something to your legs, get this heat, get out of the heat, get up in the north, and we'll see you tomorrow, folks.
Right now, Primoz Roglic decides to come up and start setting the pace here. I think he's thinking, well, if Vingegaard can have a go, so can I. At 2.8 kilometers to go, Roglic has actually changed the tempo here. This is great strategy. Talk about strength in numbers, and what delivery. Oh, Sepp Kuss is off the back. It's a wheel length. They're going to have to be told to wait up for him if that is the plan. He's on the blower saying, guys, would you mind? They don't even look back. So finally, Vingegaard does look back, takes a glance, but they're not waiting. They've gone.
He saw that Sepp was there at first. Second time he looked, there were 4 or 5 lengths. He just turned back to the front and stuck on the wheel of Primoz Roglic. Sepp Kuss fighting for his life in red. Primoz Roglic just keeps pushing out the tempo. Landa comes back to the wheel of Sepp Kuss, who is flailing. And Sepp Kuss is seeing it slip away. 21 seconds. The gap to Roglic and Vingegaard.
Kuss here. The gap's actually come down. Landa's closing it on behalf of Kuss. This is amazing. They are coming back into it. It's Landa that's wrestling for this one. Into the hoarded sections. There's the Flamme Rouge finally. So Landa still sticks it to the mountain here. Sepp Kuss is actually rolling here, trying to hold on to Landa, who's on spectacular form at the moment. Gets the roar from the crowd, and it's about 3/4 of bike length, but it comes back into that gap. This is the finale for them. They zigzag through here, the road snakes, and they've bitten everybody. Wow, this is great. Now watch the clock as it starts to count. 3, 4, 5, and here comes Sepp Kuss. He's now got to sprint home to hold on to this jersey. Maybe he knows him. We all know about Sepp Kuss. Oh, I think he might well have just held on to it with those bonus seconds. That is absolutely remarkable.